Hey, this is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. Now, who's ready for some fighting words? In this video, I want to talk about Tyson Fury and what's next for the Gypsy King. He just defeated Chisora in a very boring fight, but nonetheless, we're going to get into that. Really quick, if you like what you're hearing, if you like the content, if you love the videos, please like by hitting the thumbs up button. Also, please subscribe to the channel, and if you could, please tell a friend. Now, let's jump into this. As I just said, the fight was nothing special. I mean, it was nothing special when it was announced. And of course, that nothing special lived up during the actual fight. I mean, you have an old dog in Derek Chisora, who's a warrior nonetheless. And in his own right, he's a legend, especially over in the UK. I guess the main question is, did we need to have this fight? Did we need to see this fight? No, we did not. We didn't need to see this fight. Nonetheless, we got it again, and it was very uneventful. It didn't tell us anything about Tyson Fury, and we weren't asking anything about Derek Chisora. So it was not worth the fight. It was not worth the matchup, and it certainly wasn't anything telling in terms of the heavyweight division. So that being said, we have Usyk, who gets into the ring, or, comes up the steps. And, Tyson saying he's going to knock him out, and he's this ugly little guy. And I'm just like, you can call him an ugly little guy, and you can call him a little guy. You can say whatever you want. You can say he doesn't hit that hard, and you can say how big you are. However, the performance that I just saw, Usyk would have cleaned literally the arena with Derek Chisora's face. And you just kind of polished it. So that performance was nothing to brag about. Quite frankly, that fight went on well past what it should have gone on. And Usyk would have made a lot shorter work with that. Yes, he fought Derek Chisora, but if you recall when they fought, he was just now really making his way into heavyweight. And, that weight and that power has to transfer. And for some people, it takes a little longer than others. So initially, I always said, Tyson Fury is just too big for Usyk. You have a guy who moves like that, and he's just too big for Usyk. But after watching that performance, I'm now leaning on the side of Oleksandr Usyk. I know skill-wise, Oleksandr Usyk is notches, probably waves above Tyson Fury. Yes, I said that. But, you're dealing with a guy who was a cruiserweight. All right, that being said, he moved up. Okay, fine. Can Usyk handle the power of Tyson Fury? Yes, I do believe he can. Is Usyk hittable? Yeah. AJ hit him. Derek Chisora found him, which is shocking. So yeah, I think he's hittable. But I don't think Tyson Fury is the heaviest-handed guy in the heavyweight division. I don't even think he's even close to being the heaviest-handed guy in the heavyweight division. So, sure, okay, that's fun. I think Usyk is a lot faster. I think Usyk throws a lot more punches. The only gray area in a fight between Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk would be the fact that Tyson Fury has this way of slouching over and smothering opponents. And I don't necessarily think there's going to be a huge problem for Oleksandr Usyk, only because he's not a stationary target. He's always moving. But in the event that he finds himself in a corner, or he finds himself on the ropes, I can see that being potentially a problem for him, because that's a really big dude. That's like 270 pounds. That's a really big dude. And he's kind of just lying on you and wrestling you and just kind of mauling you and just, if for nothing else, that just stresses your body out. It makes you very tired to carry another man's weight. And it's very frustrating, mentally frustrating, and physically draining of energy. So when I look at the fight, honestly, again, I see Oleksandr Usyk throwing a ton of punches. He will definitely win on a ton of punches. That performance from Tyson Fury was nothing to brag about. You had a guy who was, in my personal opinion, he was beaten when he signed the contract. And you didn't get him out of there in emphatic fashion or anything like that. So I don't know. Maybe Tyson needs a backstory. Maybe. I mean, but him and Chisora, they know each other, so I can't really give him that. But nonetheless, it wasn't a great fight. I wasn't enthused by it in the slightest. And I do give Oleksandr Usyk a lot more of an edge going into a fight with Tyson Fury. I really do. I just think the speed factor, I think the amount of punches, and I think his overall boxing knowledge, I think his creativity in there. Yes, Tyson is also very creative, but this is going to be the first time that Tyson's been in there with a really, really fast guy. Like a really, really fast guy who's really, really elusive, who's throwing a whole lot of punches, who's very, very active in every single round, who's extremely conditioned. He's going to be more conditioned than Tyson Fury. And I at the moment, I am giving the slight edge to Oleksandr Usyk. I really am. Like I said, I was not impressed by that performance with Tyson Fury. He should have easily gotten Derek Chisora out of there. Now, with that being said, let's jump on into the other individual who was mentioned, which was Big Joe Joyce. That was brought up. It was brought up to Joe Joyce, and it was brought up to Tyson, who said he'd be willing to take that fight. Now, I've never been shy to say two people in particular that I always believe could beat Tyson Fury. That's Joe Joyce, the juggernaut, and that's Anthony Joshua. I think Joe Joyce is the epitome of slow. I think Joe Joyce is the definition of basic, but I also think Joe Joyce is as persistent and consistent as they come. What's the other thing Joe Joyce has? He has size. What's the other thing he has? Power. What's the other thing that I really feel, if anybody is to ever give Tyson Fury a real run for his money, what do you need? An amazing jab. And Joe Joyce is a big, strong dude who's extremely durable with a jab that will not go home. It's going to stay in your face the whole night long. And he's just going to pump that jab over and over and over again. It's going to be a boring fight. But nonetheless, he can turn it on just from that jab alone. You're not just. Why am I saying that's what's needed for Tyson Fury? Well, one, Tyson's not going to be able to muscle Joe Joyce down. Two, Joe Joyce is very good at cutting off the ring. So that's going to be interesting as well, because you have two big behemoth type guys, and one is very elusive. And the other one, he's actually really good at cutting off the ring. And he's good at cutting off the ring while being busy. That's another thing. Joe Joyce, he's going to cut off that ring, and he might do it a little slowly, but he's going to be busy while he does it. Tyson's not going to have the freedom to kind of mosey around and talk and dance and do whatever the heck he wants to do with Joe Joyce, because he knows the danger level. Deontay Wilder he's a dangerous man. However, he's not a big, dangerous man. You do have freedom with a guy like that. You don't have that much freedom because he has so much power, but there is freedom in fighting a guy that you know that you could easily out-wrestle at any given point. Worst case scenario, you could tie him up and there's literally, virtually nothing that Deontay Wilder could do about it, just because you're so much bigger than him. Joe Joyce is different. I think the size advantage will go to Joe Joyce. I think the power advantage is definitely on the side of Joe Joyce. And there's nothing on this green earth that Tyson Fury can do to hurt the juggernaut. Nothing. His best bet is the press conference and getting under his skin and making him angry. That's the best bet. Or just annoying him, or making him second guess himself, in which case I don't think that's going to work against Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce, as of lately, is sprouting a personality, so I don't think that even works in the favor of Tyson Fury. I think Joe Joyce can beat Tyson Fury. I think Joe Joyce can put Tyson Fury down. I think Joe Joyce can finish Tyson Fury. And I think Tyson Fury, being the smart man that he is, I think that's the reason why he said he would like to see Joe Joyce and Deontay Wilder fight. Because he knows he can beat Deontay Wilder. But Joe Joyce is going to be a much more difficult puzzle for him to solve. In which case, if I can get Joe Joyce and Deontay Wilder in the ring together, Deontay Wilder, Lord willing, can clip off Joe Joyce. And then I'm good to go. Because let's face it, as much as I love AJ, and I'm still one of these guys, or boxing fans who still believes in the Anthony Joshua show. I actually do. I still think he has a lot of talent. And I just think he needs his head on, screwed on tightly and just completely and utterly fixated on boxing. And I think when he's in that mode, I think he is a very indestructible fighter. That's what I think. But if he were to go up against Tyson Fury, I think Tyson Fury mentally would run circles around AJ and frustrate him in every way possible psychologically. I just don't think that for Joe Joyce. So I think it is smart for Tyson Fury to be like, why don't you go and fight Deontay Wilder? And Lord willing, Deontay Wilder knocks your head into the third row. And then, I won't have to worry about anything because I can fight Usyk. I can get all these belts and create history all over again. And then I can fight AJ for Britain and just go down in history all over again. And then I can retire all over again. And by the time, they screw your head back on straight, I'll be retired, long gone, and I don't have to worry about you. I think that could very well be a play by Tyson Fury. But overall, those are my thoughts. I want you to drop your comments down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I want to know if you actually think that Oleksandr Usyk could take on and possibly beat Tyson Fury. And what are your thoughts on Joe Joyce fighting Tyson Fury and Joe Joyce taking on Deontay Wilder? Drop your thoughts down below. As always, please like, please share, please subscribe to my channel.